So, Susan just left because she does not want to be on the video this morning. It's an exciting day. We're going to go ahead and take the RV up and get some additions and changes made. We're going to get the gas tank enlarged. We're going to replace the suspension. We're putting in steps at these front doors, and then we're going to be putting in the handbars or the grab bars to help you get in. This video is basically to just go over, before we even leave, I always go around, always being I think this is the 4th trip we've made with it, so you know, all that knowledge, but I make sure that the propane is off, which it is, and then I just check each one of the bins to make sure it is closed. The last thing you want to be doing is going down the road and have a bin fly open because you just didn't check it. And that's it for the inside. Okay, so on the interior, the first thing I do, we're in covered storage, so I always shut off the house power. Mostly because it's fed by a solar panel on the roof that doesn't get fed, and I don't want it to bleed out while we're parked for an extended period of time. So I go ahead off to on, and now the solar will recharge this battery, which is fine. It's pretty much right at 100% already, but we've had a couple of times where we left the refrigerator on and it drained that battery down to almost nothing. Hello, my beautiful wife. What was that?
Watch the driver's side mirror because you're in at an angle.
Thank you. I still have to enter in the address and then I will be ready to go.
TikTok.
TikTok. Yes, my love.
Turn at the first right.
Okay, so always have to make sure the emergency brake is off on this guy first. And it's weird because if the emergency brake is set, this can get pushed down and look like it's off, but you've got to pull it up until it's engaged and lift it, drop it back down. My wife is letting me know I have to go this way because of my mirror, because she is an awesome person. And I'm hoping this gives the sway of the vehicle, because that's what we're really replacing the suspension for. I was told that the Sprinter van suspensions were made for when the vehicle was empty.
Bear left.
And then they put the chassis on, or they put this thing on the chassis,
Turn
and
at the first right onto Washington
your suspension
Lincoln
isn't quite so good. So when I called to see about getting a new suspension, they told me right away, they said, yeah, 85% of these Sprinter vans come in to get the suspension changed within the first year, and that's pretty much the first thing that I'm doing. So I'm hoping this video gives an idea of the noise that's inside, as well as what the drive is like before and then after. All in all, I really like the way this drives. It feels very much like a truck as far as the pickup and stopping. It's just the hippiness of it, where it kind of rolls about. Because it's much heavier than our car, I always start slowing down long before the light, hoping to kind of roll on through so that it's green by the time that before I actually stop. It climbs the hills without any problems at all. Will just jump in front of you make it to that red light before you did, which is always funny to me. Good job, you're at the red light. We're passing Les Schwab. I found out that Les Schwab offers, of course this is a turn on. Les Schwab offers free air refills, so whenever you're going by you can get your tires checked. They also will rotate your tires for free, which I didn't know. We were just getting the tires rotated on the Kia, and they did it free of charge, which was very surprising. We don't use the navigation on the vehicle because the Sprinter, even though you would think it would be set up for, it is not set up for trucks, so you can't put in your length, your weight, your height, all of that good stuff that might limit the way you go. I called up I got communication with one of my friends who's a trucker. He told me to get the Rand McNally, and so far we've had a little quirks with it, but it's been very good as far as setting the route and already knowing the height and weight of the vehicle. It takes out any place that might have a low engine range, some other impediment to our getting through.
Right curve ahead.
Thank you, friendly lady. Alright, so this is when I notice the vehicle the most, is when you're at slow speeds and you're making these turns, it feels like it's kind of on its side. I did not fill up the tank the last time we took this out. I'm trying to be nice to the guys replacing the fuel tank and have as little fuel in it as possible. I've got a range of 142 miles, and we'll see how far this trip is today. I want to say it was like 90, so hopefully we'll be less than a quarter of a tank. I'm hoping we're down towards empty, but we'll see. And again, these slow turns, it feels like they're good. It feels like I'm leaning way the hell over.
Sharp left onto I-5.
Yes, I'm aware. The Sprinter has no problem getting up to speed in time. I'm going light on it just because I conserve gas, and that's just fine. In general, I'll cruise along in the second lane. And when I'm driving this, I do the speed limit. I don't go over by very much. And it's also because I'm still getting used to this. When you get a big vehicle go by, you can feel kind of the sway in the vehicle. So that's one of the reasons we're getting the suspension and the sway bar upgraded. One of the things about these mirrors is they really exaggerate how close things are. I'm very glad we have this rear camera because it lets me know actually how far things are.
Keep right onto I-5.
Whenever you're going under bridges, you're looking for the heights. These don't have any, so I assume once they get over a certain height, they don't list them. 40 miles an hour in the city. With donkeys. One of the reasons I leave so much distance is because you get things like that where somebody will come in front of you and just totally take away your stopping distance that you had planned on. You can hear that thump, 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 thump. I don't notice that in the car at all. But with this, it can be pretty loud. All right. So after several hours, we have arrived at Freedom Vans. We are trusting them with our little chariot, and we're going to be getting steps for the door, some grab holds. We're going to be replacing the gas tank, and we're going to be upgrading the shocks. So this is it. Now I have to just figure out where we hide these keys at and go from there.
So, where are we? We are not RVing in Holland. We are about an hour and a half north of Seattle in the Skagit Valley in a town called Mount Vernon. And in April, it is the annual Tulip Festival. So this is one of the big gardens called Roosgaard. And as you can see, there are acres and acres and acres of tulips. It's really beautiful. So if you're ever in the Seattle area in April, you should come out and visit.
Sí, hombre.
All right. Well, thingies don't bloom until later.
Super view.
Oh, no.
Okay, so we got your new struts on the front. We got the new shocks, and the shock on the driver's side was already blown from the factory.
Oh my
Really?
gosh.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
So we pulled it out, and normally when you let a shock go, it
extends.
Oh no, she was deader than a doornail. Like you could play accordion with
Can you
your
believe
shock.
we've had it less than a month and
I believe it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean the hole in the side
Yeah.
and the wiring underneath.
Yeah.
When it comes back for the tank, I need to redo some of the wiring because normally
there
when
were wires hanging out over by the sanitary poles, and I told them, I'm like, you got to tie that up. You can't just leave it dangling. Something will grip it.
there was wires hanging on the driveline.
Oh,
So I strung those back up, but I did those temporarily because when I drop the tank again to put the new tank in, I have to drop all that back down again,
right.
and route the tank underneath those wires and then put the wires back up.
Okay.
But like normally when we do underbody wiring, everything is heat shrunk.
Right.
Oh no, your wires are just there everywhere. Like there's no heat shrink. They're just butt connected together.
Oh.
There's dirt and stuff inside the butt connectors already.
Gosh.
So that's going to interfere with. It's going to cause resistance and
Pull
heat
moisture
in
and
the
all
wire.
the other
Oh yeah,
stuff, yeah.
pull moisture into the wires.
So that came that way from the factory?
Yes,
It wasn't
ma'am.
from us driving it a couple times?
Nope. It's all
Wow.
from the factory.
Okay.
And you start pulling components apart inside,
Yeah.
and like knockouts, the knockouts are back behind there. The sawdust is back behind there.
Ugh.
I mean, they just bang these things out as fast as they can.
Wow.
That's a shame. So the quality control isn't quite what it should be.
No, sir, it sure isn't, unfortunately. So, and then we got the new sway bar on the back, and then, like I said, I dropped the tank out, realized, oh crud, it's the wrong tank.
Yeah.
Because you have a fuel filter right by the tank, and you're gonna, when you come back, it's gonna be, I think, 40 gallon instead of 47.
Right.
Because you, they make, there's still a little bit, there's probably like a gallon that's still left, but they have to make a huge cutout
Okay.
because the tank extends to the back on the rear cross member that isn't there. Well, there's a cross member there, but that's not where the tank is right now.
All right.
And then it extends in a foot in front of the filler.
Gotcha.
So,
So
Alright.
now, after you've seen all the bottom,
Mhm.
is it all good now, or is there something we should be considering doing?
oh no, it's all, well, it'll be better once I'm done with it
Right.
because I didn't put any more time
When we
into
bring
it.
the tank back, he's saying he's going to spend some time and
I'm gonna
clean
spend
it
some
up
time
down
on the
there.
wiring once the tank comes back. So,
Okay. Because this summer we're driving all the way down to Florida and back.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Nice.
take 2 months and
So
just
that
go out.
Right on.
it'll all be good though.
Oh yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'll have no problems. I
Okay.
promise.
Because one of us is a worrier.
Gee, I wonder which one.
Well, it was funny because when I was reading it after my first drive in it, I'm like, wow, this moves a lot. And I started doing research. And something I read said like 85% of people within the first 3 months get the suspension replaced. I'm like, then I'm just going to do it because once we're, several states away, it's too late.
The front struts are always good. We've never had an issue with front struts. It's always the rear shocks.
Right, because so much more weight's put on them than it's supposed to.
Well, just from the factory, Sprinters put lousy rear shocks on. Their front struts are great, but the rear shocks, I mean, I don't know how many brand new rigs have come in that we've had to change the suspension out, not just because they wanted a bigger lift, but just because they wanted more stability. I mean, because you're driving a giant box on wheels,
Right.
so it's going to sway bad.
Yeah, one of the first trips we took, the wind was just, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm fighting this thing.
Well, you went from a cylinder about that size on the shock. Your new shock, the cylinder's about that size.
Sweet.
And it's rebuildable and rechargeable.
Nice.
So it's a Fox shock, so it's a good shock versus the Monroes that they put on from the factory are just cheap. They got thousands of them.
Okay.
Good job for getting that done.
Well, when I brought it up, she's like, do we really have to do that? I'm like, we don't really have to do it, but I think we should.
You're going to already notice a dramatic change in the suspension travel just by doing what you did.
Excellent.
Okay.
So, and having a shock that actually works in the back.
So you want to pull it forward and check it out?
Do I?
So how many vans do you work on in, say, a year?
Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the shop. And it normally takes anywhere from 1 to 3 months per van. So I'm guessing easily 10 a year.
Nice.
I love the backup camera on this thing.
Yes, it is
So
very
nice.
nice. I was trying to see if they had the 360 camera because some of the Sprinters have that, but nobody could figure it out.
The step is great.
They So this is what we call our foundation room. So when a van comes in, it comes in bone stock, bare, and then we put flooring down, we put insulation in the walls, we install windows, air conditioning in it, which is what that is. And then there's also a fan back here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the insulation part was skipped on ours also.
Oh, really?
Well, when you're sleeping there at night, like,
Uh-huh.
I feel it coming in, and it doesn't feel like it's coming in through the glass. It feels like it's coming in through the wall. Like,
Oh.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, we insulate very well.
Yeah, we go a little.
We go a little
above and
overboard.
beyond when it comes to.
Well, it's about comfort
it.
when you're, yeah.
Yeah, it's really what Trace works like from the 10
Yeah, exactly.
And then this is our wood shop.
All right, so I forgot to turn the camera on. First thing I did is filled up the gas tank because it was empty, but I've already noticed that it's not as tippy as it was, which is phenomenal. So we'll see how this puppy drives.
Sharp left onto Ohio Street.
I'd say sharp. So let's see how good the suspension is. It says sharp, I say it's acute. Here we go. Oh, that's so much better. So much better.